it's just, oh, it's 8:01.
8:01.
Oh, we're live.
We are live.
Oh, it's real.
And Julie and I are in bed together. Oh, and the cat's with us.
Monkey's here. Come on, Monkey.
Hi,
Monkey
Monkey.
loves the sleep system.
Hi, Monkey.
Hi, Monkey.
Oh, my dog does too.
All right, so here we go. Let's get into this. I'm going to look online just to make sure that it's still connected, and we can start. Hi.
Okay.
I'm Julie Matt.
And I'm Tina Davidson.
And you give your little info about you.
Sure. I've actually been a healthcare practitioner. I study it, I research it, I love it for about 18 years now, and it is my life, and I love it. And I am a healthcare, self-care advocate,
Yeah.
and coach. And so this is what I do.
You are.
I
girl.
coach people.
That's what you do, and you do it so well.
Thank you.
You really do.
And who are you, Julie?
I'm Julie. Still. And I'm much newer to the self-care advocacy than Tina is. So I learn a lot from Tina. But a couple of years ago, my husband was very, very sick, and we were looking for any solutions that could help him. The medical profession, though they have a great spot in our lives, only got him so far. So we wound up looking basically anywhere we could find some other sort of a situation, or other physicians or practitioners who could help us. And Nikan fell into my lap, almost literally, in an airplane. And ever since then, the technologies have really been changing our lives. And so tonight, we're going to talk about sleep and how important sleep is for us.
What is sleep? What does insomnia look like? Are you getting enough sleep, and how do you know? And what happens when you don't get enough sleep?
Right.
And then what do you do to change that, to shift the situation of not enough sleep?
He's going undercover.
He's going undercovers.
Yeah.
Well, we're undercovers.
We are undercover.
Yes.
Monkey
Julie
loves
and I
the sleep system.
We decided to crawl in bed together
Right.
and tell you about sleep.
Here it is. How do you, yes, watch your feet. So the big question is, right, are you sleep deprived? How do you sleep for real? How do you know? How do you know if you're sleep deprived, right? It's a big question.
It is a big question.
People are walking around like zombies, but they think that they're okay, and they don't really realize it.
So many people are sleep deprived. It's
Right.
crazy. So let me ask you, Julie, do you need an alarm clock to wake up?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes, you know, if I have different events going on that are kind of outside of my regular schedule, I do need one. Or if I know I'm not going to get enough sleep, I'm going to bed too late, I definitely make sure that it's set right, for sure.
And then do you have a hard time waking up? Is another good question.
Right.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
I used to snooze a lot.
Oh,
I used to really
snooze
be a
so
snooze
much.
monster.
Oh, well, like
Always.
for an hour I would snooze. I don't do that anymore. If I
So
snooze
you
one
have-
time now, it's you know, it's good.
We're both looking at the camera.
I know.
Don't jump on the camera.
Yeah.
The other biggie is when you're going to sleep, right? When you lay down, do you fall asleep like immediately? Because falling asleep that fast, a lot of people think that means they sleep really well. They're good sleepers. What it means is your body is so exhausted, you're just gone, right? It should take usually about 10 minutes, right? You kind of have to settle down and calm down and kind of get into the zone.
Yep, and we have ideas of how to get into the zone.
We'll help you all up at the zoning.
Yes, yes.
The zoning.
The zone. But I always hear, I need my coffee in the morning.
Right. Can't function. Don't talk to me until I have my coffee.
That's right. You're being grumpy.
Right?
That's right. There's grumpy people, and you know who they are.
You do know
Do
who
not
they are.
talk to them. No. And then
falling asleep. So during meetings or watching movies, watching television on the
taking
couch,
tests for kids,
a warm room, right?
Yes.
If you're in a room that's not quite the perfect temperature, and you kind of nod off.
That's called micro sleeps. And
they're
that
not good for you.
No, that's literally where you nod off without control.
Right.
You'll be in the
That
middle
happens when you're driving.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yes.
You know when you get home and you're like, wait a minute, I don't remember that drive. Isn't that scary? You're not alert.
I heard that there's an 80% chance you will kill yourself if you fall asleep driving.
Well, I guess, right?
Right,
Or someone else. That's so scary.
Right, and there are more people that die in car accidents now because of sleep deprivation than alcohol.
And if you're sleep deprived enough, your reactions and your responses and everything are almost as bad, if not worse, to being having the legal limit of alcohol in your system for driving, right? So I know when I'm working too hard or I'm not getting enough sleep, and then I'm at work and I'm being challenged, right? I have some sort of something crazy that you're trying to think through, and you think, oh, you're just against a wall. You can't come up with a solution outside of the box or in the box, for heaven's sakes. You can't come up with it.
Well, you can't focus without enough sleep.
And then I get home and I rest and I wake up and I'm, oh, we could just do this.
Well, that's because
why didn't we think about it?
That happens in your sleep,
right?
Your brain is still working,
right?
And it comes up with answers to issues while you're asleep,
right? So you have to, getting sleep is so important. And I've even read a fact, I can't think of who it was right now, but I've read that they say if you have a spare hour in your day, even better than going and exercising, which I know a lot of people try to do, right? Getting sleep is that much more integral to your body, that it will do you that much more good to actually get that extra hour of sleep in instead of hitting the gym, because you are potentially sleep deprived.
Oh, yes.
Right?
And I heard about something called sleep indebtedness, which basically, if let's say your body needs 8 hours and you only give it 6, then you still owe it 2 hours and it needs it. And the next day you do the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. It never goes away. Your body, it's like a bank where it keeps adding all those hours up, and until you give it those extra hours, like you're talking about, you will be sleep deprived. It's just continuous.
Right, you'll be in debt. And the other thing that we learned, right, is your immune system. So losing one quality night's rest puts your immune system at a 60% loss. 60%. And you do that 2 nights in a row, that's another 60% off the 40% that was left before.
Wow.
So I know I've been there, right?
Oh, yeah,
you have a bunch of nights in a row where you're pushing through whatever it is you're doing.
Yes.
You're on holiday, having too much fun, or you're working too hard. Whatever it is, right? You get to that point and all of a sudden you're not feeling so great, right? Your throat starts to hurt, you're getting a bug. It's because you've pushed your immune system down so low, and then you're around other people, you're out in the public, and you're getting germs, right? And your body can't fight them off because you're exhausted.
Right. Exhausted. Chili's gonna take a little nap.
Little micro sleep.
And I was just reading about all the different meds that we take on a regular basis. Well, not we. We don't take any. We don't take any. Anybody in Nican doesn't take meds. So anyway, but there are certain meds that actually create insomnia. It blew my mind.
Right.
Heart meds. Okay. High blood pressure medication. Asthma medication. Oh, we have another guest.
So many guests. All my animals love the area. It's good. We're at home. We're in bed.
Yeah,
this is what
we're
happens.
in bed.
It's all fine.
So
back to meds.
Yeah, asthma meds, antidepressants, anti-smoking, ADHD meds.
Right.
Now I want to talk about that for a second.
Okay, go for it.
You have a kid who lacks focus, most likely because they're sleep deprived. You give them medication for ADHD to help them in school to have clarity and be focused, and then it creates insomnia. Come on. I mean, it's a vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
The other thing that we read about are meds that actually help you sleep, right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
there's
that's
a lot
right.
of over-the-counter meds and some not over-the-counter meds that they help you sleep. So yes, so you're out. You are out for a significant amount of hours, but you're not actually going through the sleep cycle that your body needs to repair and restore. What you're actually in is a medication-induced coma, essentially. So you're not getting the REM sleep that you need. You're not getting the restorative benefits of a quality sleep. So you may be out, quote unquote, for 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. I don't know how long the meds put you out for, but you've gone to bed and you're no longer responsive.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of scary to me.
Yeah.
But you're not actually getting the benefit of sleep. So you're getting up the next day and you're still probably in a state where you've dropped your immunity, right? You've dropped down to this level where you probably are still going to be grumpy. You probably are going to have mood swings. You're probably going to have all of these other things that you get from a sleep deprivation type state. Do you know that there was, when I was working in the UK many years ago, and there was a TV show about sleep deprivation, like a reality show where they'd lock a bunch of people in a house and they wouldn't let them sleep. And then they would give them like math quizzes and tests and basic mundane things to just try to accomplish. And you would see how bad it got. They couldn't function.
Wow.
At some point that like the guy was looking to try to brush his teeth and he was just like, I don't even know what this is for anymore. Like his brain was so addled. He was just, I mean, can you imagine? It's a TV show. Well, or it was.
So, with that in mind, you know, we're talking about the clarity, the different things. What does what some of the great side effects of sleep.
Right. What is it? What good does it do you?
Right. Well, there's the restoration.
Right.
The rebuilding, the restoring of your cells.
Mm-hmm.
There's the taking the toxins out of your brain.
Right.
Amazing. Actually getting rid of cell membranes in your brain, molecules that are now toxic.
Right. They're no good for you anymore.
Nope.
You don't need them.
Nope.
Get rid of them.
Get rid of them. But if you don't sleep enough and
They'll
don't
stay
get
there.
deep REM sleeps, you don't get rid of it. And it actually, they've been able to start linking it to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and some different diseases. Because your brain isn't cleaning itself appropriately.
Right.
But I think one of the coolest ones that I heard about was the fact that when you go to sleep, you make new memories. So you went your entire day. Now, when you're asleep, your neurons are still going crazy. Would you say, Julie, that you actually have more neurons firing when you're asleep than when you're awake?
Than when you're awake.
Crazy.
Your body can use itself more effectively, right? When you're not in charge.
That's
what it is. When you let go and just let your body do what it's supposed to do, it's amazing what it'll do, right? It's there's that flush that they've proven that there's actually like a fluid flush over your brain that helps to get rid of those toxins.
Right.
It goes down to the spinal fluid and gets rid of all that good stuff and puts you in this position to help get rid of lactic acid, right? And there's just all these things that it's going to do when you're not fighting with it to try to do, I don't know, running around and driving, right? You're making it concentrate on crazy other things.
Right. But so you've got this entire day. Now you're making new memories, and it is going back and looking at older memories and comparing them and putting them together. So when you wake up in the middle of the night, I don't know if you've ever done this, I know I have, you wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh my gosh, I forgot to lock the door. Right. Whatever it is, that's because your brain just made that memory that you didn't lock the door earlier, and it's comparing it to older memories that said, you lock the door every night.
You normally do this.
Yes.
Get out of bed.
And you wake up, you're wide awake because you just had that memory go flashing through your brain.
It's cool, right?
It is cool.
I was watching or listening to Dr. Sanjay Gupta, one of the CNN broadcasts on sleep that they did. I think it was last year, a couple of years ago. And he was saying that one of the tests that they had him do was in a cockpit, like a pretend cockpit, to do takeoffs and landings.
Oh.
And he was able to, perform the task in the cockpit as well as like your average non-pilot person could do, I suppose. And he said, it didn't feel scary. I was able to do it. Everything was okay. Then they put him in an environment where he wasn't able to sleep well that night, right? So exactly what Tina's talking about. The memories weren't laid down effectively. So then he came in the next day and they did the exact same test with him. And his retention of the task that he did really effectively the day before wasn't good. And he said, I knew everything I needed to do, but I couldn't figure out all the bells and whistles and movements and all that kind of stuff. And he said, now, nobody would have died on my flight, but they would have had a really bumpy ride, right? But it's just the memory didn't get laid down. They wouldn't let it because they forced him to not sleep.
Well, college students, they cram all night long. Think about that.
Right.
They take coffee or different stimulants to stay awake, so their brain is awake but not functioning. And they cram all night long, get no sleep, go straight to take a test, and none of those memories of what they studied gets internalized.
Right.
Kind of
and they think they're doing themselves good, right?
Exactly.
And they're kind of surprised why it doesn't work.
Right.
I mean, I always was. Let's just be honest.
Oh my gosh. Let's see.
All right. So we've talked about, are you actually deprived, right? To figure out whether or not you are. We've talked about what happens when you are, right? We've talked about meds that put you in that state, unfortunately, right?
I know one thing we haven't talked about.
What's that?
Is about gaining weight through sleeplessness. And that actually, when you go to sleep, there's certain hormones that do get released normally when you get into your deep sleep. But when you don't, when you're sleep deprived, there's this little nasty one, a hunger hormone called
ghrelin, I think.
Ghrelin?
Or ghrelin.
Ghrelin?
Ghrelin. Look it up. It's really important.
G-R-E-L-I-N.
Ghrelin, right?
And what this does is it gets to the brain and it tells the brain, I want carbs. Carbs, give me sugar, sugar, sugar. And therefore you go and you want to devour. Manja. All the bad stuff. Yes.
You do.
And I actually have a friend who works out for hours a day and then she can't sleep at night. Not because of the workout, just she can't. And she said she every night goes down to the refrigerator and just eats everything.
She awake when she doesn't.
Yes, she is actually. I asked her that question.
That's, at least she's awake, right?
Right, but is that good?
Well, no, but at least she's awake.
Yeah, she's not trying to sleepwalking
in their sleep.
That's
true.
Crazy. That is true.
You know what? We have to look up more about sleepwalking.
Okay.
And what it is, right? I don't know. I know people in my life that I used to babysit a million years ago, and the little one would come in and she'd be totally out. Like,
that was creepy.
That was very creepy. Oh. And people in my family who sleepwalking fell down a flight of stairs. It was horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Very injured.
Wow.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary stuff.
So, Jules, what can you do?
What do you do to have a good night's sleep?
Right. What do you do? Okay, I'll go first.
You go first.
I'll go first. I think setting up a sleep cave is called a sleep cave. You basically set this intention, this room,
right,
where you go to bed, and it's dark, very dark, no lights anywhere in the room. Okay, even my alarm clock, I turn them around.
I do that. In hotel rooms, I just unplug them. I just unplug them.
I cover them. My husband thinks I'm crazy. I cover them.
I just unplug them. I unplug everything that's lit. I even have binder clips to hold the curtains together because I traveled for so many years. I can't.
Wow.
I just can't. Okay, so cave.
Right, making your man cave. Oh, your man cave, your sleep cave.
She might make a man cave.
Yeah, right. And in doing that, keep it very cool.
Right.
So you want to go hibernate, actually.
Right.
And when you're on the colder side, you start to get groggier and sleepier. And if you
want to curl up,
and you just want to curl and get comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes. So make it cool, dark.
Right. And I think even before you get into your cave, your sleep cave, you need to decrease the amount of light that you're exposing yourself to. Right. So you kind of have to simulate the sun going down.
That's right.
So don't be in the bathroom with all the lights on, doing your cleansing routine and your teeth brushing and all that. Do that stuff. Don't not do that. Hygiene's very important. But don't have all the lights on, right? If you have an option, dim them a little bit so it's not super, super bright.
Or a nightlight or something.
Or a nightlight would be good. Don't have like your iPad or your iPhone in your face or your television blaring and have all those light stimulants because it confuses your body, right? It's accustomed to, we're supposed to sleep with the sun cycle. Right? That's just
the circadian rhythm.
Right, it's your circadian rhythm. So if you're blaring light at your eyes, your body's going, we're supposed to be up now.
That's right. Makes you alert and hard to sleep. That's right.
When you're actually trying to turn it the other way around, right? To start to settle, to be able to get into your deep sleep.
That's right.
So dark room, cooler, a little bit cooler, right?
No electronics. You're dimming it at least a half hour before you go to sleep. One that I just found out about is sniffing lavender. I didn't say sniffing glue.
You could diffuse lavender. I know people put it on the backs of their necks. Actually, I frequently do put it on the back of my neck. Or under your nose. Or you have it if you sleep with your hands up by your face. I'll put it on the palms of my hands sometimes just so that when you're moving around, you'll get a waft of it.
Excellent. And it actually does start shutting your brain down, slows your heart rate and your blood pressure. So lavender is,
lavender's good for so much. It's good for so much.
So good. Let's see. Covering your third eye. This is one that is a trick that I've used for a while. And basically, if you don't mind me using it, Jewel, you just lightly, and I mean lightly, you can have somebody put something right here on you, like maybe a washcloth, or just put your hand slightly over somebody's forehead. It just feels so
a cool washcloth.
Good.
My mom always did that. It was so awesome.
I have put several people to sleep. Whether they wanted me to or not.
Covering their third eye.
Yes, and
now I know when it happens.
Yes.
When I go out for no reason, I'll know what she's doing. I don't want her to talk anymore.
Well, Rick used to have insomnia really bad, my husband. And every night I would lean over and just cover his eye, and within a minute he was asleep, which was awesome.
It's good to know.
Yes. And
which was awesome.
I know, it is awesome. I love that too. But he used to also do a little meditation at night, and he would start at his toes and work his way up his body. To relax your body.
Relax.
Just breathe. The 4-part breathing. Breathe in 4, hold it for 4, blow out for 4.
I just held my breath.
And then hold it for 4 again. And just do that, and that calms your body too.
It does. It's amazing the routines that you'll come up with.
Yeah.
Right, to help yourself to sleep. And just a side note, I used to, growing up, we moved a lot. It was. And this is so strange. I don't know why I'm telling you this. But we have just a minute to say it, but I used to lay in my bed and I think, okay, if I were laying in my bed at this house, what would I be facing? And if I were laying in my bed at this house, what would I be facing? And I would just go through all of my different bedrooms as I was growing up and be like, and soon it was like counting sheep, but houses. I guess it's strange. I know. It's weird.
So what Julie and I both have
Yes.
is the Nikan sleep system.
Yes.
By far the most amazing sleep I've ever had. I know you also. Same with my mom is staying with us right now, and I have the sleep system on my guest bed, and every morning I ask her, Mom, how'd you sleep last night? She said, absolutely the best sleep I've ever had. It's amazing. She goes right to sleep, and she sleeps all night long. Julie and I are in the sleep system.
We have everything.
Yes, we do.
Every possible other except the eye mask. We don't have it on because I don't know where I moved it. It's normally beside the bed, but so we have. So this is just a small cutaway, but we have the legit one here. But I don't want to throw everything off.
Yes.
So we have comforters, right? And the comforters have 3 different technologies in them. You can't really see it, but it has magnetics, advanced magnetics, which helps smooth out, thin out the smooth muscle in the body, which is basically like your arteries and your veins, right? So it helps. So magnetics help with circulation.
Oh, definitely.
That's a scientific fact. It just is. Now, we're not making any claims from a Nikan perspective, but
it's awesome.
But, well, yeah, other than that, but magnetics do help with circulation, right? There's scientific studies on that.
Right, and they help with the healing of your body if you're injured. It's helping me right now big time with what I'm doing.
So they have the magnetics in it. There's
energy.
far infrared.
Oh, love far infrared.
Right, so the energy from the sun, which
regulates your body temperature. If
you're doesn't need that at night?
I freeze my husband out at night because, I'm getting those little flashes, but this stops it. I don't get them in my sleep, and a lot of times I don't get them during the day anymore. But you know what's interesting? I went away on vacation and did not have my sleep system. I was only gone for a week. It took me 2 weeks of being home before, I was back to sleeping solid and sleeping without hot flashes and waking up several times a night. So yes, the far infrared is amazing.
And then negative ions, right? Which is the energy from the air. So it's a negative charge in the air, which is calming and soothing and relaxing, right? So it helps your body get down into the zone.
Yeah, just be comfortable. Right? So the inflammation gets released. The body's comfortable. The magnets are healing you. Awesome.
I mean, it's just like... it's like a big sigh. So that's in the comforter, right? And then I'm gonna just dismantle my bed. So this is the travel blanket. So what Tina did and went away without anything, you don't need to do that.
So stupid.
I just packed this in my suitcase.
I gave mine to my 100-year-old grandfather.
Well, okay, that's legit, and that's fair. But so this one doesn't have any magnetics in it. So there are people. So if you have like a pacemaker or you have anything that's battery run in your body, like an insulin pump or a pain pump, it's not recommended to have the magnetics because it can impact the battery in those pumps, and you don't want to run that risk. So we do have products that don't have any magnets in them that are perfectly safe. That'll give you that same sensation, right?
Love that feeling.
Calms you right down. So we have that. We have pillowcases too that have the far infrared and negative ions.
Let's talk just a moment about the pillow, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I love the pillow. It's hard to hold with one hand to show you.
I'll hold it.
But the pillow, it has the big, thick back part, which I love.
I sleep on this part.
Oh, me too. I flip it around. But this part is a magnetic roll bar, and it does have the filling inside of it. Fantastic for those that snore. For all you wives or husbands.
Right.
When you have a partner that snore. It basically lifts the back of your neck up and opens up your airway. And plus, the magnets in it get in, and they start magnetizing your pineal gland, which is in the center of your head back here. And that produces melatonin to help you sleep.
Sleepy.
That's right.
Right? People take melatonin to try to help them sleep.
They
try to help with jet lag when they're traveling.
That's right. Oh, yes.
But so all of these things would help with jet lag.
Yeah, you're right.
So the pillow, right? So it's fantastic.
What about
and
the
because
topper?
The topper is awesome. But so the other really good thing about the pillow is because it has the far infrared and the negative ion in it, and it has a natural latex, it doesn't get hot.
No.
You guys, you don't have to flip it over when your head gets hot because your head isn't getting hot.
Right. And if your head gets hot, it wakes you up.
Right.
It takes you right out because that's a protection measure. You're right. My head doesn't get hot at all. I don't get hot in my bed.
No.
Mm-mm.
So this is a little cutaway of the topper. So we have the topper underneath us. Yay! So this is
Yay!
So this is a cutaway of it. So you can see that there's magnets in it, and it's a natural latex as well. That has, I can't remember what it's called. We just asked for this for clarification on it. I don't remember because my phone's over there.
It's a type of protein.
That's it. You got it.
Yeah.
It's a protein that comes out of the natural latex.
Yes.
And that's what most people are allergic to. So Tina's mom is allergic to latex, and she's sleeping just fine on this lip
Yes.
system. So most people that have a latex allergy are not having any sort of a reaction with this. Now, this plastic part is just for show.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a pet cat that has the plastic on it. My dog, the big monster who came in here earlier, sleeps on it. And it also fits in baby cribs.
Oh, yes, I've
The
actually
pet
given it as a pet pad, as a baby shower gift.
Right, so then you kind of want the plastic.
Yeah, you do. You do.
But so this is fantastic because it also wicks away sweat, right? So you
Yes.
never really get those wet spots or sweats in the bed where you're going to roll away from them. And what are you doing when you're rolling away from them? You're waking up.
Waking up.
Right,
Well,
you're getting out of your cycle.
We bought a Tempur-Pedic bed, and
They're
I
warm.
woke up every night. It's so hot.
Mm.
And we just put this right on top of it,
Mhm.
which you can do. You can put this on top of any mattress.
Sure.
And it literally transforms your sleep.
It really does.
Because it's cocooning. You have this.
No, speaking of which.
Wait. So you have this under you. You have
This
the
over
comforter
you,
on top of
right?
you,
This.
and the pillow, and
Oh my
you are
gosh.
being cocooned in these healing technologies
You really are.
all night long.
So, which is the perfect name for this sleeping bag that Nikin came out with. Hello! Who doesn't want a sleeping bag for their kids?
I know.
And when your kids are growing, right, we've had so many great stories and testimonials of people who have kids with attention deficit type disorders
yes.
or autism.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
a lot of that stems from, not all of it, but a lot of it stems from not really being able to get a great night's sleep.
That's true.
And so this is a great solution that it's much more cost effective, especially for somebody who's growing, right? You don't want to keep changing bed sizes and changing the full set. But so this opens up and completely unzips, and it's a queen size comforter. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And
it's awesome.
super cozy. My cats the naked cats that you saw earlier, climb in here. And to be honest, what you're seeing on my bed, this blue travel blanket is always on top of my bed because then they don't burrow under my covers. They burrow under this. So the cats literally sleep under this every night.
Wow.
They'll seek it out in the house. And they're hairless. I mean, they need some comfort. They're hairless on purpose, not by accident.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I've done things down. I'm trying to check the time. We have
Yeah.
2 minutes left.
2 minutes.
So with
So-
Nikin's sleep system, right? You can get all of it. You
Amazing.
can get little pieces of it. We have an eye mask that has the same technology in it. If that's where you want to start and you're comfortable to try something, do that, right? It covers your eyes. It gets that nice dark environment. I had a cold a couple weeks ago and I just wore it on my forehead over my sinuses.
Oh, if I start
And
getting a
it
headache,
was
I just lay it on.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tina, you were
Seriously.
wearing it in our last show over her shoulder.
I was wearing it over my
So,
shoulder, yeah.
You can put it wear it whatever ails you, right? You can, whatever. Any of these pieces go wherever you want on your body.
And you can contact either Jules
Right.
or myself
Absolutely.
and ask us questions about the sleep system.
Please
we'll be
do.
more than happy.
It's so important.
It is.
It's so important.
Especially since most of our country is sleep
They
deprived.
say like 75% of us have sleep issues.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing in North America?
Wow.
So, like anybody you talk to, one of two of them probably doesn't sleep well.
Right. And if you think about, I just have to throw this in, you said that, and it made me go, it's all one vicious cycle.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many diseases in this country,
Mhm.
yet what is starting what? Is it the lack of sleep that's
Right.
starting the
Immunity
actual
issues, right.
immunity issues or the chronic illnesses? And then because you get the chronic illnesses, you have sleep deprivation.
Right.
And if you don't take the proper nutrition, which we'll be talking about next week.
Oh, next week is
Ooh,
nutrition.
that's right. Next week is nutrition. If you don't take the proper nutrition, then your body isn't strong enough to fight what's going on.
It is really. You have to make the choice,
Right.
to try to keep your health up.
Yeah.
And it is, and some of them are little
Right.
shifts, some of them are bigger shifts for some of us who have more issues than others, right? But you can do baby steps to get there.
Right. But like you sleep every night.
Right.
So to me, this is not a huge shift having a
Right.
sleep system.
Well, that's when my husband was sick. I was thinking, what can I do that isn't going to cause him extra trauma or duress, right? He's already sleeping. He's already in bed. Well, you know what? I'm going to throw a topper underneath him. I'm going to switch out our comforter and change the pillow. He's already in bed. Right? He's already there. So I'm not asking him to do much more. I mean, he was unwell, so I could have slid in whatever I wanted. But it was a change that didn't feel like a big impact. I didn't say you can no longer ever have gluten. You can no longer ever have whatever. What's your bigger changes in your life, right?
Right.
You have to be really proactive about those.
Yes.
But in your sleep, if you have a mattress and you want to put the topper on it, the person's going to climb into bed and, sometimes
and
they don't
thank
know
you.
any differently.
And absolutely thank you. I
And
remember
thank
the
you.
first time you learned me a sleep system, I literally put it on my bed and I woke up the next morning and I was like, whoa, oh,
That's that sleep, right? Where you're like, wait a minute, is it time to get up already?
And
right?
I
don't even notice.
I used to hit the snooze at least for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I hated waking up. I hated it. I couldn't function at all. And I literally woke up and was like,
right, alert. My husband always woke up and can do math. I never understood it, right? His brain was alert, and I was like a snoozer, and I would just lay there. Now sometimes I lay in bed because I want to, but it's not because I can't get up, right? It's a choice.
Yeah, it is a choice.
I wake up now and I'm alert.
Right. Same here.
Ask my parents and my brother. Trust me, I was never a morning person. Honest.
And
not me, but I didn't get up.
Yeah.
So it makes a big difference. It made a big difference for me. I have a lot more energy all day long. Mm-hmm. I'm not feeling that kind of drag midday in an office that doesn't have a lot of clean air, where I used to before. I used to drag a lot in the office at my job. And so I'm so grateful for this because it's just amazing how I feel during the day.
And if you ask our clients who have it, my one friend, Mary Lou, said, Tina, I can't tell you what it does, but I love it. Right? I love it. And I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Right. And like Tina said, sometimes a lot of people, they don't necessarily, I don't know what it's doing. It feels something, or maybe I don't know that I feel it, but then they don't have it anymore. And they're like, my sleep is completely horrible.
Oh, like when I went to the hotel. Back,
right? So when you leave it, when you don't have it, you miss it. So your body it's like sleeping out in nature, basically, is what it's doing, right? It's putting you back into contact. It's grounding you. Yep. So anyhow, we're jumping over minutes, so that's what we're doing. So please, when we post this, when it gets saved, please share it.
Yes, please.
Share it on your Facebook page.
Everybody.
We want as many people as possible to hear about the technologies because it's going to help someone. Even if you don't have sleep issues, of people. Yes. Somebody you know and love has sleep issues, and it would be really great if you could share that with them so that they can hear more about it, right? So we'll get more people to hear about it so that we can help more people feel better.
Yes.
That's what we want.
That is what we want.
It is what we want.
It is what we want. And then next week, we're going to talk about nutrition. And different ways that we've incorporated into our lives, little shifts that really change the way you feel. It's awesome.
It's great.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Oh my God, I have so many blankets, I don't even know which one anymore.
Good night.